Hey guys, this is Nick with PhoneArena, and the tablet that we're reviewing today is the Asus Fonepad. As the name suggests, this is both a tablet and a phone. Actually, you can make phone calls with this because it comes with a 3G radio and a built-in earpiece. However, although it's a peculiar device, it doesn't really cost an arm and a leg. It can be bought for roughly $250, depending on which market you live in. So let's check it out and see what the Asus Fonepad has to offer. So here it is, the Asus Fonepad. Surprising to say the least is that although it's a rather affordable 7-inch Android tablet, it comes with premium materials used in its construction. The back plate is made of metal, which definitely gives it a nice, solid, premium feel. The only plasticky bit on the back is this strip right here on top, behind which are hidden the micro SD card slot and the micro SIM card slot. The Asus Fonepad weighs 340 grams, and it's not the lightest 7-inch tablet, but at the same time it's far from being the heaviest as well. In fact, we find it very comfortable to hold because its shape is very ergonomic, the weight is balanced, and the surface is very grippy. The bezel surrounding the display is wide enough for us to rest our finger, our thumb comfortably on it, although if one isn't careful, the thumb might register as a tap on the display. Asus has chosen to go with virtual buttons for navigating through the Android interface on the Asus Fonepad, so there are no capacitive buttons underneath the display. Above the screen we see the earpiece, the front-facing camera, and the light sensors. The power and volume keys are located on the left side of the tablet. They are very well exposed and provide excellent tactile feedback. Asus has equipped the Fonepad with a very good-looking IPS LCD display. It has a resolution of 1280 by 800 pixels, which isn't anything out of this world by any means, but 7-inch tablets have yet to go any further in terms of resolution. We think the display is very suitable for many everyday situations, ranging from viewing photos and videos to reading text on the web. The color representation of the display is on the neutral side, and we do like it that way, although if the user prefers to do some fine-tuning, there's this application that allows the hue, the saturation, and the color temperature to be adjusted. Using the Asus Fonepad outdoors is possible indeed because the LCD screen has sufficient brightness output. We do recommend, however, turning on the outdoor mode, which boosts the brightness of the display even further than the setting would allow us to. We have Android 4.1.2 running on the Asus Fonepad. The interface of the platform has been slightly modified, and while the changes aren't totally unique, we find them pretty useful. For example, you can now launch the camera application or Google Now straight from the lock screen. Also, the drop-down notification bar has been modified and now hosts a bunch of toggle switches, as well as a slider for the display's brightness. On top of all that, Asus has added the so-called floating apps, which are, just like the name implies, small applications which run above the user interface and hover in their own little window. You can add new ones to the UI by choosing one from the menu that pops up when the button in the lower right-hand corner is pressed. You can get new ones from the Google Play Store, and as a matter of fact, every widget that you have installed on the tablet can be used as a floating app. Since it's large and spacious, the on-screen virtual keyboard on the Asus Fonepad is very convenient to type on. However, it lagged on several occasions during our testing, so responsiveness might be an issue with certain applications. At a glance, the Asus Fonepad seems like a pretty weak tablet. It comes with a single-core Intel Atom processor clocked at 1.2 GHz, and it has 1 GB of RAM. Although this doesn't seem like much, in reality the UI of the Asus Fonepad runs smoothly enough most of the time. Simpler tasks are executed swiftly and performance issues aren't really that common. Still, anyone who has ever used a high-end tablet would notice that the Asus Fonepad isn't all that fast. Would recommend avoiding live wallpapers and loading too many widgets on the home screens because these usually take a heavy toll on the tablet's performance. And if you are into gaming, keep in mind that only casual games run smoothly. Demanding 3D titles with fancy graphics are playable, but the presence of extra visual effects results in a noticeable drop in frame rate. We have no complaints about the stock web browser on the Asus Fonepad. It renders both light and heavy web pages quickly, navigation is smooth and responsive, so overall nothing to complain about. Besides, you get support for multiple tabs and the resolution of the display is very suitable for convenient web browsing. Instead of putting a music player of its own, Asus has gone with the Play Music application by Google, which isn't a bad choice at all. It's a very decent music player, especially if you have access to Google Play All Access and the Music Locker feature. The sound output of the Asus Fonepad's built-in loudspeaker isn't all that great, although it is pretty decent. The mono speaker can have its volume boosted by using the Audio Wizard application, which is basically an equalizer that fine-tunes the music according to the usage scenario. There is no truly dedicated video player on the Asus Fonepad. Instead, there is Asus Studio, which is more of an image gallery with support for video playback. It can handle MPEG-4 and H.264 videos in many resolutions, including 1080p, but the video playback interface offers no advanced features whatsoever. As we already mentioned, you can make phone calls using the Asus Fonepad without the need for a separate accessory, and you can even send out text messages. Unfortunately, the quality of these calls is very low. For some reason, the microphone is the worst bit because on the other side of the line, our voice is very distorted, so distorted that it's even hard to understand at times. The earpiece is okay, it doesn't sound nice, but at least it's loud enough for us to understand what the other party is saying. The Asus Fonepad comes with a 4270 mAh battery, which is capable of delivering an amazing 32 hours of continuous talk time. If you use it like a regular tablet, however, you will get about 9 hours of usage time, which is an average figure. You may be able to get a bit extra battery life by enabling the smart saving feature, which turns off some of the radios inside the tablet when they are not needed. So to wrap things up, the Asus Fonepad may be capable of making phone calls, it can send and receive text messages, but it's clearly not a smartphone replacement. Of course, you can totally use it as one, just keep in mind that the device won't fit in your pocket and its call quality leaves a lot to be desired. However, the Asus Fonepad is a very good looking 3G capable 7-inch tablet with a very nice screen and battery life that will last through the day. All of that can be had for just $250, which is a very reasonable price. But before choosing to buy the Asus Fonepad, we would definitely recommend you to try the Google Nexus 7 tablet as well. It costs about the same, and although it's not capable of making phone calls, it comes with a much faster processor. Also, if money isn't an issue, you should consider getting the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0, which is much faster than the Asus Fonepad. Thank you for watching our video review of the Asus Fonepad. This is Nick with PhoneArena. To learn more about the latest smartphones and tablets, just visit our website phonearena.com.